Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and I am here doing a commercial job today, and I've actually been working on 2 different buildings, and I cleaned this carpet actually not too long ago, and I did a video showing this. I was actually using my 2-speed rotary in here the last time I was here, and then apparently they, I guess, did some renovating in here, and renovations, and they decided they wanted me to come back and clean this hallway and this set of stairs, which is just over down there. Anyway, and today I decided I'd use my Vibe, and I'm all ready to roll here, except I just wanted to touch base with what I'm about to do, which is I'm going to clean using the green stripe pad. These actually aren't made by Rubbermaid, but Rubbermaid was the original, I guess, the original green stripe pads were made by Rubbermaid. And of course, they were made many years ago, initially as for use under a rotary machine. So they don't have, they're not stitched together. So there's a top and a bottom. Like I can go like that and I can open it up, see? And some think that because of that, you can't use it under an OP machine. Well, many years ago, when I was using my, for years, when I started off 29 years ago, there was very little choice for pads. One of these pads that were available back then, as well as the thick loopy ones and that were cotton, and also some synthetic ones. But fairly quickly, I ended up using these as my primary cleaning pad, and this is long before the OP machines came on the market. And this was I use these all day long, residential and commercial. And there was actually, this is a little bit different than the one I was using. The one I was using actually had Astro turf. The green stripes were Astro turf. This particular one, the green stripes are polypropylene yarn apparently, and then the white part is actually rayon. I'm not sure if the ones I used back then were 100% rayon and with the Astro turf or not. It's been so long since I had them. I ended up, in the end, I guess I ended up chucking them away because I switched over to microfibers and then other pads, gladiator pads and other cotton pads, and the pads that came with the Orbitech as well. And these kind of fell by the wayside, as it were, and I didn't use them for many years. I almost forgot about them. And then about a year or so ago, I bought a Challenger used, and it came with some green stripe pads, which were AstroTurf. And I was going to throw them away, and then I thought, well, I should give them a try. And I actually put them under my rotary doing a commercial job one day, and I really liked them. I thought, okay, why aren't I using these things? They're great. I forgot how good they were. They work fine. But anyway, but for quite a few years way back then, we're talking like 2008, 2009 is when I got my first orbital machine, and I think it came with some thin cotton pads, and they worked fine. But I ended up, in most of the commercial jobs that I did, I ended up just using the Rubbermaid pads underneath the machine because they were great. No problems at all. So it's kind of funny because I hear sometimes people will say, well, you can't use them under the orbital machines because they're not made for that. Well, I didn't know that, so I just used them and they worked fine. So anyway, I'm going to show you how well they work, because they do work well. And by the way, there's others that do use these under OP machines, rotaries and OP machines. They work fine. They're a great choice to have. One of the guys on our Facebook page uses a Trinity, and they're actually one of his favorite pads now. He uses both the AstroTurf and the polypropylene yarn ones. He likes them both. They work great. No problem at all. There's no issue with using them under an OP machine. And I just actually was using 13-inch ones under my Oric, and I was doing a bunch of steps, and it worked fine. So anyway, if somebody's telling you otherwise, they're not telling you the truth. Or they don't know. Maybe they're just ignorant. One or the other. So let's set it up here. Try to make sure I'm as centered as I can be. I think that's pretty good. Okay, don't have a glider in there. I actually usually prefer to run with a glider, but not always. But see, there's absolutely no problem moving this thing on the carpet. Benefit from depending on the carpet you're using, I think it would benefit from using a glider though. In fact, I'm gonna go get my glider. I normally use one, and I think I'm gonna use it on this. I want to see that if I feel much of a difference anyway. So let's go get it. I have two sizes of gliders, by the way. I'll use the big one. Sometimes I use the small one. Normally I use the big one on the, for the vibe or whatever, but sometimes the small one is will work fine. These are actually came with my Orbot, I believe. I've had them for many, or no, maybe I ordered them up, but they were made by the folks that make Orbot. But you can get these made by plastic shop. You can get them in different thicknesses, just ABS plastic. And then you're going to stick a Velcro on the one side and away you go. So let's put it on here and see what we think. We're close enough. I don't know that I'm actually feeling any difference. Maybe slightly. again with the plug. Oh, there we go. It actually does depend a little bit on the carpet that you're on, whether or not they, on some carpets they're going to perhaps bunch a little bit. But it is a little bit on this carpet, but it's not really affecting it really. Move the plug. This is my Saturday, and here I am working. But you know, actually, we've had the quietest winter we've had in years, business-wise. We had very cold weather there. In January, we got down to minus 15 or so, wasn't it? Or colder. Anyway, it was really, really cold. And that really slows everything right down. And then we took most of January off. My wife's mom passed away. And we just decided just to... Not that we actually normally would get work when it's cold like that anyway. It just doesn't look pretty. Nobody wants anything done at that when it's that cold. And then I guess particularly with the economic kind of things going on, inflation, and people are really beginning to feel things. So we've come to kind of hunker down, and we've never been so affected by anything. Even the downturn in late 2000s that had virtually no effect on us. And nor did COVID actually. So thankfully it's not critical for us at the moment. We have to ride it out. Businesses can and economies can have their ups and downs. So and that's one reason why you don't want to be at a price point that you're barely able to make it when you're doing good. And it's not like, you know, I'm being subsidized with assistance of any sort. And we certainly do declare all that we earn and pay our taxes. I guess not everybody does that, but anyway, that's the business life. Anyway, the pad, as you can see, 3-straight pad is working just fine. This is a carpet that is clean enough that I can certainly clean it with a 2-way pad, which is actually the pad that I like the best as far as production numbers go. They work nice and smooth and easy to move the machine with a 2-way pad, but they're not the most effective at cleaning. But anyway, this is a choice. Another choice that you could use with your OP machine. So that was my point, was just to show you guys that you can use these green straight pads under your OP machines, and it's nice to have a choice. So let's have a look. Let's see if we can see anything interesting here. Oh yeah, it does stick on here really well too. So, that was actually a little bit soiled. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so we'll let you go. Thank you for watching and have a good day.